Hey, don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video.
Are you ready?
Fasten your seatbelts.
Drivers, start your engines.
Race activated. Sheer passion. Change the game forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Racing with Celebs.
Bleach box in drag racing is the area where bleach is deposited for cars to perform burnouts, water and track bite is also used. Most organizations only permit water. This is done at the start of most drag races. Welcome back to your favorite car show, Racing with Celebs, where we introduce you to some of SA's top celebrities and their ability behind the wheel. This is a program designed specially for all your racers out there. So sit back and relax, buckle up and start revving your engines. We have prepared the bleach box. Today we are back at track Midvaal Raceway in Meyerton, where our celebs will be plebs how things are done. He is one of our front-runner actors who is best known for his role as Dr. Conrad Bester in the hit show Binnelanders. He hails from Pretoria and has been gracing our screens for more than a decade. Entering our bleach box today is Hykie Berg. He started his acting career in 2003 in the series The Res, followed by a leading role in Plek van die Vleisvreters. But for now, over to you, Johan, to tell us more about the car this super celeb will be racing.
Thanks, Donovan. Our category for today is Super Hatch. The Car Care Clinic Super Hatch series, backed by Swartkops Raceway, is designed for people looking at a cost-effective way of getting out on track and enjoy racing in the company of a group of like-minded individuals. Let's hear what the experts have to say.
Louis, welcome to Racing with Celebs, and a big thank you for giving us the opportunity to drive these beautiful cars today.
Great stuff. Thank you for letting us be part of this. This is a great honor and a privilege. We really appreciate being here. I think it's going to be a great day. I'm looking forward to it. And it's a nice affiliation.
Can you just tell me a little bit more about the Car Care Clinic Super Hatch series?
Sure. Car Care Clinic got affiliated a few years ago with Super Hatch. It's one of the breeding grounds for the stars of the future. It's the most affordable racing that there is. You can bring a standard car, come race it in C-Class, or you can make a modified class and race it in A. It's how you go through the ranks. We've even got guys coming through the ranks where, let's name Jeffrey Kruger, has just got in his national colours. So that's great platform for the new stars coming through.
Louis, can you just tell me a little bit more about the different classes within the series?
Sure, it's all a power to weight ratio class. So in A class you've got 85 to a ton, and so it works down in classes. So if you've got a light car with heavy power, you can still get it into a class. It all depends on your driving style and power. So yeah, it's all regulated. The regs are out there if you want to know beforehand, before you join. But if you need info, just give us a shout.
Thank you, Louis. Now that we know more about Super Hatch, it's time to introduce you to our celebrity, Hykie Berg. Hykie, welcome to Racing with Celebs. It's an honor for us to have you on the show today.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I'm super excited. I mean, I look at these cars. I've never driven one of these little babies. You know, I've been on motorbikes my whole life, and I've had many fast super bikes. So I'm very excited. Yeah, thank you.
What are your expectations for today?
Well, I just want to have fun. I want to have fun, and I want to feel what these things can do. You know, it's one thing to have skill, but you want to know what the car can do around the corners and stuff. And I kind of understand lines. I understand the apex. I understand getting into the apex, getting out of the apex. and I just want to have fun. I've never been to the Midvaal Racetrack, and I've had so many friends over the years that do this, and so I was excited when you phoned me and said, because I am a bit of an adrenaline junkie, you know,
Yeah,
makes me come alive. I like it.
So I think it's time to put you through the safety breathe.
Let's suit up. Woo!
Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll be back with celebrity Hykie Berg. Welcome to Race Action now from Racing with Celebs, and Mzansi Spur just taking all our drivers and our celebrity Hykie Berg through the final instructions there for drivers briefing. We're joining the car care clinic super hatch category this time, and Hykie's been given an opportunity here to climb into one of the most competitive cars out there as well. It's going to be a car that should be able to run at the front end of this pack. As race 1 starts to head down towards turn 1 here at Midvaal, going the opposite way around to what most people know Midvaal to be. But turn 1 this way makes an interesting corner, because you've literally got a big straight into a very tight right-hander, and then almost instantaneously into a double left-hander. Good start from Mzansi Spur by the looks of things as she hangs on to the front end. Hykie's coming through there and looking for a chance now to bring that little red Ford Fiesta of his back into the pack at the front end. Lost a little bit of ground coming through there, but now as they make their way onto the back straight, maybe the Fiesta's got a little bit of turn of pace. Freddie Watkins all over the back of him. Watkins looking for a way past, can't find it just yet, but a good start there from him nonetheless. And as they get onto that straight now, this is where power to weight ratio as well as slipstream comes into effect. And I'm sure that Mel and all these drivers would have taken into account the man's lack of experience. Courtney Nickel in the Volkswagen Motorsport car here, of course, doing a superb job. He's the man who won the Volkswagen Driver Search for 2020, and now looking for a chance now to go at it with Freddie Watkins and Hykie Berg. Remember, Hykie Berg is an actor as his main career, and spends a lot of time on the Binnenlanders set, but now in the set of Super Hatch, he's having to change up his whole acting style. Trying to close things down there. The battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th getting away. He's sitting in 5th place at the moment, but 3 and 4 are certainly getting away from him as he goes through the final corner to complete the first lap in anger. Spur out front. Looks like that might be Nick Martin and Johan Snyman starting to put the pressure on as well as they start to close things down. And now Hykie's under a bit of pressure there from Freddie Watkins, continuing into turn number 1. We go on board here with Hykie. That's good stuff from him. Maybe needs to work a little bit on the hand positioning on that steering wheel, but needless to say, that's good, cool, calm and collected driving from him. Remember, he'll be pushing as hard as he can, and he'll be looking to probably post this up onto his social media as well. That's at Hykie Berg on Facebook and on Instagram. And if you want to be following him and finding out how his career's gone, definitely log on and give the man a follow here from Racing with Celebs. Hashtag Racing with Celebs as well, as we're on board with him. This is Jean van der Walt's normal car, but you can see Hykie now loving life in the full thick of a super hatch battle. And these super hatch battles tend to be real racing. There's no doubt about it. Some of the stuff that's happened in the past in super hatch, yours truly's even been involved in. And I can tell you it's not easy when you're in a pack of drivers that are as seasoned as these guys and girls are. Mzansi Spur at the moment though, dictating the pace at the front end. And just trying to maybe back them up a little bit to ensure that we've got about an 8-car battle here for the super hatch sheet at Midvaal. Once again, a massive thanks to Nino and his team for giving us the opportunity to be here at Midvaal, and to the super hatch crew for bringing out all these cars. Our loving life at the moment, being part and parcel of this. Remember, Super Hatch is designed as the most cost-effective saloon car category in the country. And if you certainly want to get involved in motorsport and you've got a hatch of some nature, all it has to be is a Super Hatch. You'll get all the rules sent to you by Mel and her team as the organizers, and literally you can build that car and get involved in some of the most competitive racing you'll see on the Extreme Festival and anywhere in South Africa. Good start though. As you can see, all of a sudden starting to back things up there. Hykie's under a bit of pressure now. Courtney Nickel trying to find a way past. Watkins has got through. And Hykie Berg now, well, you can see just hanging in there as he manages to keep Courtney Nickel out. Courtney Nickel, of course, still learning the ropes when it comes to front-wheel drive. He's very good in the wet, as we saw at the first Extreme Festival. literally put massive amounts of time between himself and the whole pack that he usually races with at Red Star Raceway when the torrential thunderstorm came down. But he's now looking up at those skies, and unfortunately the clouds aren't thick enough to bring rain. So he's going to have to do it all on his own on the dry, or in the dry, here against Hykie Berg. As they close things down there on the 9 car, you can see Johan Snyman just avoiding and unfortunately losing out there to back. Now up ahead of Johan Snyman, who made a small mistake, and Courtney Nichols going to have a look and go, and have a go going into the double left that takes them onto the back straight. Spur hanging on, Mal Spur keeping it all together at the front end. Nickel has got through. So Courtney Nickel now going to try and close things down here on Hykie Berg. Look at the Polo speed differential here compared to the one ahead of him on that Ford Fiesta. And he gets into the slipstream. There you go. Great chance to see how that slipstream effect works. Pulls into the slipstream, pulls out, and slots through. Moving himself up into possibly 5th place, just behind. Yeah, there we go. Watkins into the 4th spot at this stage. Yeah, Watkins starting to close things down now on those top 3, but here comes Nickel as well, and Courtney Nickel pushing hard. Speaking of pushing hard, Hykie's pushed a little bit too hard, and he's looped it out, and manages to catch it. Fortunately, didn't go over there. If you get onto the dirty stuff here at Midvaal, it does tend to catch your tires, and you can end up in a bit of tears. Good recovery. Great recovery. Didn't lose a position, and I think he might still have a bit of pressure coming from behind from Johan Snyman. And oh no, that's it. I'm going into pit lane. I've had enough. I'm going into pit lane. He's given himself, I think he's given himself his own personal drive-through penalty there. Is that another car is coming ahead of him? Yes, it is. All right, so it was a drive-through penalty, all instated by the driver himself as opposed to the COC. Battle continuing though, it's not over just yet. Looks like Courtney Nickel might have hit the front. Yes, he has. He's got ahead of Mal Spur, and it's Watkins into 3rd place now as they come to complete this heat of Super Hatch for Racing with Celebs here at the Midvaal International Racetrack. And I'll tell you something, Courtney Nickel is definitely going to be a man to watch out for as his future starts to blossom. He spends a lot of time with the AMG Driving Academy, of course, one of their instructors at Swartkops. And he's had to learn how to drive a front-wheel drive compared to the massive power that comes and is given by the delivery of most AMG Mercedes-Benz. That all comes out of the rear wheels, but this time in the Volkswagen Motorsport Academy. Polo is going to take the victory. Mal Spur is going to come through for 2nd place. 3rd place goes to Watkins. Van Zyl comes through for 4th. It's Snyman in 5th, and Hykie Berg, despite his drive-through penalty, finishes up in 6th ahead of Nick Martin.
It's amazing. On the 2nd or the 3rd lap, that's when you kind of get the feel of it. But I think on my 7th lap, well, I don't know where I passed you, but I thought I was great through that apex. But then there was a corner. The owner of Fred didn't see that, but around the corner, the backside flipped out, and I went through the bushes, and then I pulled it back. I managed to get in control of it again, and then this last corner as well, I missed. Well, I just made it, and I pulled in. But what a rush, man! What a rush! It's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, check the pressure now. As per rules with Super Hatch, if you finish last in the heat, you get put on pole for the next one. And the reverse grid puts Hykie into pole position with Watkins on his tail. It looks like Snyman joining them there as well. Then you've got Van Zyl, and tucking in there as well is Mal Spur looking for a chance. Mal Spur, just being bettered around the outside by Courtney Nickel. Good driving there from our top 2 from the first heat. Remember, they've got to come through this entire pack now and make their way back to the front end. Watkins is 2nd. So a good start there from Freddie Watkins. And you can see Mal Spur already finding a way through there on Snyman, finding an opportunity that opened up. Here comes Courtney Nickel looking to do the same. So as the two of them now start to close things down, this is where we may even see some more slipstream effect. This is on board with Snyman. Expect to see a blue and white Polo possibly pulling along on the left-hand side of that car by the time they hit the brakes here into turn 5. As they come out of the back straight. Good driving, much better this time, and good anticipation on the brakes from Hykie. But he's got massive amounts of pressure being applied there by Freddie Watkins in the old German-coloured Polo there. And now coming up under pressure as well. Looks like we've got Francois Henning being pressurized there by Mal Spur as well. So Henning feeling the pressure too. This is super stuff, but Hykie Berg hangs on for another lap. Can he keep it all together now as they go down into turn 1? Watkins applying that pressure, looking for a chance. Henning is there too. Behind that, here comes Mal Spur. Spur starting to show prowess in this class. Seasoned campaigner, and has finished up at the front end of a lot of heats of Super Hatch races in her class, and even on overalls on some of the days as well. Certainly a young lady who knows exactly what to do in a hatch car and a front wheel drive. Hykie now onto the back, double left-hander that brings him onto the back straight, runs a bit wide. Oh, he's run right completely, he's off the grass, and he's heading towards the wall. There you go. Well, we do have a big sponsor, of course, involved from the RMI, and I think there might be a couple of pedal beaters looking to possibly get that work from our sponsor, as they've joined us now with Racing with Celebs. But yeah, Jean van der Walt, don't worry, your Super Hatch will be sorted out and will be fixed by the time you get it back into race trim. Here we go, down the back straight. Henning and Nickel up in a second now, and looking to possibly close things down. Where's Malspur? No, in fact, Malspur's got ahead of both of them. Didn't quite see that. She's managed to sneak through on Henning and on Nickel, and is pulling a little bit of a margin on the two boys there for second and third. And Watkins is coming along to make it a three-way battle for second, third, and fourth place, I should say. Brilliant driving from these guys. And there's Nickel on the inside. Courts is far away. Can he keep it all together as they come across the line? Yes, he can, but is he good enough on the brakes for turn one? Henning got good drive. He manages to keep Nickel out. Nickel going at it there, Francois Henning. Henning in front, I can tell you, has had a bit of experience in these cars as well. Nickel around the outside. Can he keep it together? Driving around the outside of this big left-hander is a big move, and there's enough room given. But as you switch over to the right-hander, you've got that inside line. Had to go on the curb ever so slightly, but makes it stick. That's a perfect bit of driving there from Courtney Nickel. Finding his way up into second place. Is there enough time for him to close things down on Malspur? Watkins now looking to do a similar kind of move there on Henning. Henning on the slightly newer Polo as opposed to the slightly older version that Watkins is in. But needless to say, as long as it's a hatch, you can bring it to Super Hatch. And there goes Henning. Henning using the slipstream on Nickel. Finds a way past. Nickel now closes down under braking. Oh, he might have he's overcooked it. I thought so. He might have ran into turn 5 a little bit too hot, and he's gone off on the slip road for the drag racing. He comes across the grass, gives a position up there to Sneyman, who's come through on him as well. But now it's Watkins and Henning. And Malspur, well, they've been caught there. And Spur running a little bit wide. I wonder if she might have just cooked those tyres ever so slightly. They run on Dunlop rubber on these cars, remember? And now Malspur opening up the door. Here comes Henning. Watkins now leads out. This is what Super Hatch is all about. Nice little running repair there for Hykie Berg. Also just got his makeup sorted out before he got back on track, so we should be good to go now. And unfortunately the car didn't have too much damage. He just brought it in to make sure everything was okay. And he's now got pressure coming from the leader. Yes, that is the leader. Freddie Watkins applying the pressure onto the back end of Berg, and immediately pounces. Malspur going to try and go with, or is she? No, she decides I'll hang on till the back straight. That Polo of Spurs will probably have a little bit more grunt down there, the back straight there, prepared by Nathan's Motorsport as she comes onto that back straight, and the Ford Fiesta. Well, Fiesta's going to place the car. I don't think Hykie realizes you're only allowed to make one move down the back straight. Think of that. 1, 2, 3 moves, left, right. And Mal's going, hang on a second, you're only allowed to make one, bud. But she's been, oh, and look at that, the slipstream of the little Ford Fiesta has been able to catch and pass Watkins. So Freddie Watkins being caught and passed now, so it looks like Berg is trying to come back here. Look, he's not going to be able to get the win here, but he's certainly leading things out here in the closing stages. Being a couple of laps down, he's just saying, listen, if I hadn't had that crash, you guys would have been in trouble. And Malspur hangs on for a possible win ahead of Watkins. Watkins ahead of, is that Nickel? No, it's not. It's Henning first, then Nickel. And then we've got Sneyman coming from behind. So with a couple of laps to go now, it's Hykie Berg looking for a chance now to possibly just hang on and get across the line first. He won't get first place in the race, but he'll certainly look to keep this pack behind him. Spur, Watkins, Henning and Nickel. Sneyman's in there as well. Oh, there's nothing in it. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Sneyman here in, I think this is Andre Danhauser's car, I think he's piloting if I'm not mistaken, but he's having a superb job and has caught up with the Opel onto the back end of the Volkswagen crew. And now the Ford under attack from Malspur. Berg had no answer there. Opened up the door, and you don't do that. Malspur will make you pay, and make you pay big time if you open up a door and give her a chance to get past. Here comes Watkins. On board with Berg as he looks in the rearview mirrors, trying to keep these guys out. Will Watkins find a way past? He's alongside him. Here comes Henning on his inside as well. Henning and Watkins hounding the back end of that little Ford Fiesta, trying to find a way past Nickel just behind that. Courtney Nickel applying the pressure onto the back end of Watkins. Malspur hangs on for a possible win. That's going to be not a bad day in the saddle there for her in the car care clinic car. So not only does she have the Car Care Clinic badge on for the overall sponsor of this category, but she runs their colours as well as her overall sponsor for her own racing here. Coming across the line, the flag is out. It is going to be Midvaal to take the win. Second place, Hykie Berg. He hangs on for second. Yes, coming through ahead of Henning Watkins, Courtney Nickel, Johan Snyman, and Nick Martin, unfortunately not making it out there for the second heat. Let's catch up with Hykie down in the pit lane now and find out how that race went.
Dude, let me tell you, that was me. I went around a corner, and you shouldn't brake around a corner, because what happens is the car, the backside pulls out, and then all of a sudden I turned the steering wheel to the other side. So I thought to myself, listen, I'm just going to pull it around the corner because the tires are hot and everything, and it's going to stick. And I couldn't manage to do it. And then afterwards, I went with the owner of the car, John, and he took it to about 90% of what this car can do. And I felt the difference. Look, if you know the track and you go and you know the apex and you know the line and stuff, that's completely different. I loved it. I loved it.
Join us after the break as we catch up and find out exactly what's been happening in Hykie's career.
We are back with our celebrity for today, Hykie Berg. Hykie, why acting?
Look, I decided to go study acting when I was 21. I was actually stuck in a treatment facility, a rehab, because I was exceptionally naughty. And in treatment, I decided I wanted to become an actor. And I went and I studied my drama degree, and I've had it's the last 20 years that the industry has been good to me. It's given me a profile to do many other things that I do. I'm busy writing my second book. I've actually just finished writing my second book. And it's given me a bit of a profile to really go do things that I love, to really go and share hope out there. My first book did exceptionally well. I've also got a little bit of an entrepreneurial spirit. We've got a health and wellness company. It's based in Dallas, Texas. And we distribute products in 27 countries.
Wow.
So acting is wonderful. It is amazing. But you know, when you hit 42, I'm turning 42, and as you know, it's a tough industry. Look, if you're only going to act in this country, it's going to be hard and tough. It might seem like it's so wonderful and it's great, but financially, you know, you want to move ahead and you want to plan and you want to. So yeah, I'm really content with what I have. I'm very grateful. That things have been so good to me. I'm grateful for Binnelanders. And it's awesome to be on the show. It's lovely. I get to do things like this. I get to spend time with you guys, and it's awesome.
No, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
You've also mentioned your book, the one that you've just finished now.
Yeah.
What inspired you to write a book about your life?
So the first book I wrote when I won Survivor in 2011. It was a special time on the island because I met the Lord on the island. And I felt that he said, write my book. And because I've got a history with drug abuse and psychiatric illnesses, I decided to write the book. It took me 6 years. And I couldn't believe it. It was the first Afrikaans book in 10 years, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Christian book, which was the #1 bestseller in South Africa.
Wow.
#1 bestseller. The only book that beat it was Jacques Pauw's book from The President's Keeper. It wasn't because of my story, it was because of his story and what he did in my life. And the book did exceptionally well. And then what happened was, I read an article. Look, I ended up in psychiatric institutions because of ADHD medication, because of Ritalin and Concerta and stuff, because Ritalin and Concerta is methylphenidate. It's the same family as amphetamine, methamphetamine. And most people don't know about it. It does have value. I'm not saying it doesn't have value, but it can be very dangerous. And I ended up in a psychiatric institution years ago because of Ritalin and Concerta. And a couple of years ago, well, not so long ago, I read an article in a newspaper, and it was actually in a magazine that said it was a very well-known, very educated doctor that wrote about ADHD amongst children and adults, wrote about the medication, but said that the medication is completely safe, it's not addictive, and I just thought, no, this is rubbish, this is half truth, this is just rubbish. So I made a little YouTube video about ADHD, and that there are other treatments, there are other things that you can do for kids that suffer with the symptoms of ADHD, because nobody even knows whether ADHD still really exists. It's a very mythical kind of disorder. And I just decided, and I made this little video, and that video almost got 1 million views.
Wow.
1 million views. I should have put it on YouTube. I didn't even put it on YouTube. I could have made money on it.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, and I just received thousands and thousands of mail from people that have kids that struggle with kids with ADHD symptoms. And I decided I'm going to write a book. That's going to be the second book. And I just finished it now.
Wow.
It's done.
So it's
It's done. This holiday, it's done. It's going to go into the, yeah. So it'll probably come out end of 2020, 2021.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And it's really just to make people aware. It's not to create a debate or to attack the medical world or anything like that. It's just to say, listen, there is hope out there. You're not a freak. It's not your identity. You can harness it, and there's a lot of hope, when it comes to psychiatric illnesses. Yeah. Thank you. Johan, thank you very much for the day. It was lovely. Really, God bless you. And God bless the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Same to you. Thanks.
Bye.
Don't forget to catch all the action next week as we bring Racing with Celebs to Bali and Corsi. Arguably one of the most famous Racing with Celeb actresses, with over 1 million people following her on the likes of social media, with the next edition of Racing with Celebs. We'll see you soon.
What a guy Hykie Berg is. Talking about inspiration. We will be back again next week to keep you all out there inspired with another high-revving burnout episode of Racing with Celebs. For more information on the series, visit our Facebook page Racing with Celebs or visit our webpage racingwithcelebs.co.za. Stay sexy, make good choices. Asja.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video.